It starts with a wizard, he's old and he's wise, and though he is small, there is strength in his size. The Goliath from the west, he's not smart, but he's strong. The Flagon Slayers, this is their song. Now the warlock, he's lost all the memories he had, 'cause to deal with a demon went seemingly bad. And the druid on his quest to save the shadow plane, when you hear tortured souls, you'll remember his name. They're the Flagon Slayers, and this is their song. They're the Flagon Slayers, the adventure goes on. The cleric, she heals in the light of the moon. She wants to find purpose, it'll come someday soon. Then the rogue draws his sword, metals clashing again. When it comes to a duel, he will always win. They're the Flagon Slayers, they drink and they fight. They're the Flagon Slayers, by day or by night. They're the Flagon Slayers, and this is their song. They're the Flagon Slayers, the adventure goes on.
It was like when, like,
Hello,
gosh
everybody.
dang it, Hunter. No,
The Flagon
this is.
Slayers.
I have one job.
Today we got a
I have one job,
exciting episode for you.
and it's to
Thanks
run
to
the
our
whole thing.
Squarespace. Thank
We
you.
are not sponsored by Squarespace.
If only.
We are not sponsored by Squarespace, but if we wanted to, yeah. Anyway, welcome back everybody to the Flagon Slayers, or welcome to if this is your first time here. I'm the Dungeon Master, these are my players. Hunter is having internet issues, so please forgive him if he accidentally falls off a cliff or something, I don't know. In case you missed last week, the party continued through the deserts of Marquette until coming upon a sort of oasis, where they were attacked by sand sharks, and then a giant sandworm.
Alaskan bullworm.
And then they
was
killed it
super
really
scary.
quickly, and it was really, really annoying. And it had 400 HP, and they downed it in, I believe, 4 rounds. So that's fun.
With
One of those
with the
rounds, nobody could
cactus.
attack it.
Yeah. So, you know, that is great. But the party is in the desert, and the arrow, the special seeking arrow, has landed in this beautiful oasis.
It's a mirage.
Hold on. This beautiful... Oh, go back to it, Jacob.
Gosh dang it.
This
Caleb.
beautiful oasis that wasn't up on
Yeah.
screen until just now.
Ooh,
There's a full scope of the map there. You guys are over in the top right corner.
Indeed.
I would
All
like
right.
to search the worm to see if there's anything cool that I can gather from the worm.
Make a investigation check.
Secondary thing, is there anything
Right
that
to
is
home.
expensive from giant sandworms that we know of?
That would be a nature check. Magic cards.
Hey, Animus,
19?
if you find anything sparkly, send it my way.
Alright, I'll let you know.
A 19.
19 for investigation. Nature check is 23.
Okay. So, as you're kind of searching this massive worm, some of it is still outside the sand, but most of it is kind of sunken back in. You don't really see any valuables. You see like a few swords like stuck in some of its teeth. Bits of armor, but nothing of any real value. On the like parts side, you know that sandworms have a like buoyancy bladder, essentially, that allows them to better move through the sand. But it's deep in their body, where the bladder would be.
Is it worth my time to go get it?
You don't know what the market value of the bladder is at the moment.
About the 2-3.
So that's up
Is
to
it
you.
full of water that we could use?
We could drink
is
it.
not.
Is it like
This
a
is-
camel's hump?
We could drink
It's more like
piss.
a diaphragm.
A worm
We
pee.
can
We
drink
gotta boil it first.
the worm's piss.
And then
If we
gain
run
the
out of
powers
water,
of
that's
the
what I'm
worm.
saying.
And then become a worm ourselves.
We all
Thank
just
you,
start like
boy.
going
Going
into the
insane
sand.
We're just like just drinking the worm. the worm
Wow.
piss.
Start looking like dolphins, but like
Take a class in worms.
coming up and out.
Worm language, Worm
And
101.
then whenever people like are traveling across the desert, I don't know, man. Those Flagon Slayers, they're diving in and out of the sand nowadays. You gotta
You'll
be
see
careful.
Start doing like tricks and shit, doing like
Yeah.
backflips as you go.
You know what? Let's forget about the campaign. You guys could let's just.
We're all sandworms
We're
now.
gonna be worms.
I don't know if
What does a sandworm care of the end of the world? Really? I mean,
True, we can just burrow our troubles away.
Jacob,
Yeah.
due to the size of the worm, how long would it take me to get in and extract said bladder?
oh gosh, probably a few hours.
Yeah, we're gonna pass. Let's just continue on. Thank you.
Dude,
for that.
why are you so concerned about the worm's piss bottle?
I want a tooth.
I was
As I said,
concerned
it's a
more about.
buoyancy bladder. It is not full of urine.
It was more based
He is stored in the
on
balls, Jacob. Don't fool me.
That's not.
when we kill
It's
things.
science.
We usually try to figure out what the more important parts of it are, so we can extract it and sell it later, or use it for ourselves later. This doesn't seem important. I'm passing.
Fair enough.
I want
All
a
right.
tooth from the worm.
All right, so it's kind of like almost like a toothbrush bristle, more than it is like a tooth. But you think this would be a really good back scratcher. You
Back
could probably
scratcher?
snake out a drain with it.
Back scratcher.
Handy.
And in a pinch, you could probably use it as like a skewer to cook meat on.
Okay.
Get
Why
your
not? I'll
back
take it.
scratcher.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
To start walking toward the lake.
Okay.
Yeah, can we see the water from where we are?
I'll say you're high enough up in the dunes that you can. Yeah.
And
It's
did
probably
you say it's hard for us to move because of the sand?
yeah. So the sand is difficult terrain, so it takes double movement. But
If
since
we
you're
get
not
to
in
the wa-
combat, doesn't super matter at the moment.
Okay, I was gonna say if we get to the water, can we just swim and avoid the back movement?
It takes you guys about 30 minutes to get there from where you were. Go ahead and move you guys over here. But it looks like a very normal oasis. Nothing seemingly out of the ordinary.
Do I see the arrow?
You see a very faint golden glimmer at the bottom. Make a survival check for me, Mr. Ranger, Mr. Cirrus.
Okay. What did you say, survival?
Yep.
That's our ranger.
If I can find it. There you are. That is a 26.
26. Okay. This oasis is probably about 200 feet
Oh,
deep.
fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Is there
Hmm.
something at the bottom?
And it just so happens that the druid can't turn into a water elemental yet.
I can turn into water animals, so
Yeah, but
We
that's
can
not as
learn about
cool.
fish.
Wait,
could
Wait,
just
wait,
sink
wait.
to the bottom as an earth elemental.
I have a ring of dryness in my possession.
Oh, that is true.
I
I don't
got
know if
some
it would help
dust
us.
dryness.
I've got some dust
Yeah.
of dryness as well. I don't know if
Let
we're gonna be
me
able to
see.
drain
Let's
this
Wait,
lake.
three,
dry
three and
this
a half
thing up.
years to use it.
Let me pull
Let's-
up.
Is everyone just like screaming out what they have in the desert?
I have
Yes.
this.
Before we do anything rash,
15.
let's all fill up our water bottles first, or our water
Is it
skins.
fresh
Is
water?
this fresh?
Who wants to try and taste it?
I'll take a little lick.
Anzu does.
Oh,
Okay.
never mind. Ansu does.
I mean, true. He tries anything once. Yeah, it's fresh water. Seems perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'd
so
like to fill
let's
up-
see here.
My skins.
Like to fill up as well.
So one use of dust of dryness, one marble-sized pellet, is 15 feet of water. So
So, I
What
have
is the
5.
ring of dryness?
the ring has charges, I believe, correct?
I believe. I don't know. I never attuned
Yeah.
to it. I just like have it.
Oh yeah, you just have it. Yeah, it has charges that function the same way as like the dust. But like this follows, forgive me math nerds, but this follows the square cubed law. So like this is not like 15 feet, it's a cube, so it's cubic. So like 15 feet of cubic water is not, it's not like you go from 200 feet of water to what, 185. It wouldn't work that way.
No, because
Also,
it's a lot of
before-
water.
Whack.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else rash, have any of you guys been to this water hole before? No,
No.
all right. So
Zygon,
then-
you wanted to know if there's anything on the bottom, right? Make an investigation check. Sorry to interrupt you, Zach.
No, you're good. I would like to cast find traps
Pee real quick.
Ooh. Okay.
before anything dumb happens.
15, by the way.
15. What is the range on find traps?
120 feet.
Okay, so it won't get to the bottom.
Right.
About 60 feet down, there is a sensor of some sort, like a magical runic sensor.
Thank God. All right.
But you don't quite know what it like would
Right.
do.
Right.
Also, Zygon, you peer into the water and you kind of try and see down to the bottom. You lift your eye patch off to get a better look.
Oh, you have 2 eyes?
That's exactly right. It's my little secret.
Flips the eye patch back down.
I wink at him, but it's really blink.
There is a structure at the bottom of this oasis that you can see. And you can see that the arrow is lodged into the structure, pointing directly down to it.
I'm gonna bring my head out of the water. Looks like there's the arrow stuck in this thing down there.
Also, I saw a sensor about 60 feet or so down, so we should probably be smart about our next actions.
Do we think the arrow could have tripped the sensor?
I sure hope not.
As far as you know, I will tell you this, as far as you can tell, it did not.
I don't think so.
That's our ranger.
Yep. That's me.
Let's see, who's like a mechanical? I guess Anzu's kind of mechanical. I would say Zygon moderately. You know what? Everybody make an investigation check. Let's just do it. You know, because everybody's looking around.
And do it. And do it.
Do it.
What kind of check?
Investigation.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
4.
Nice. So as you guys are kind of looking
30,
around.
20.
Nice. Okay, so as you're all kind of assessing the situation, these 2 inlets that feed into the oasis are, the water level is lower than the oasis itself. And as you look, you see these large metal gates, essentially, that are blocking the Oasis in, basically. So where these two openings are, there's these large metal gates, and it looks like the mechanism would open outward to where it would drain the Oasis out into these other areas.
Question.
Yes.
Can I tell if the structure down there, can I like look and see, is it like enclosed? Does it look like something that water can get into? Or does it look like is it like Sandy's dome?
Like, is it sealed?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make a investigation check for me. Sandy's dome and SpongeBob.
No perception?
No, you're not perceived. That's not what perception is. You're actually like, can I see this? And if I look at it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what it looks like.
You're not gonna let me.
I had to perceive
I'm
it.
trying to see if it looks like. Just what does the structure look like?
Pull up
I have a plan, Jacob.
Ooh.
I want to cast Find Familiar.
Okay. Isn't that a ritual that takes like an hour?
I rolled a 9. If it's
can
investigation,
pass
it's a 10.
Okay.
What's everyone?
It appears as though it is not flooded. It is a closed off structure.
Okay. Who all has their little
Find Familiar is a 1 hour casting time.
I have mine.
What did we figure out?
It's like a closed off structure, so it's not like full of water.
How far?
There's something 200 feet at the bed of the Oasis. There's something down there. Each side of this has giant metal gates that are blocking the Oasis from draining out into these other two little rivers.
So what I could do is turn into a shark.
Octopus.
Octopus is a shark.
And then
And they become
hold
best friends.
Cirrus in my mouth. Cirrus also takes
That's weird.
one of the teleportation stones down with us. Everyone who has a teleportation stone teleports to us, and I come back up for whoever lets Cirrus borrow the teleportation stone.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
agree
saying?
to it as long as I don't have to get in the shark's mouth.
Okay,
You could
because
also
I can
do a whale.
dimension door down into there.
That also works. Me and Cirrus both just don't have teleportation stones, which is the main issue.
Well, Anzu can you dimension door?
It would get you down there.
So then you give your teleportation stone to someone else, and then Animus could just turn into a little fishy or something.
Just as the DM to inform you on, like, not to explain things to you guys that you probably already know. 200 feet down is going to be high pressure, and if you were to go up too quickly, you could die.
Not as a
Jacob?
shark.
Is there like a visitor's entrance that we
there like
can
a gift shop?
access it like without going into the water?
Sounds like a note to me.
There is no other access point that you can
Cirrus,
see.
get in my mouth.
That's
It's like
not...
that scene in Austin Powers. Get in my belly.
Or, I mean, should we just try to see if there's a mechanism on the gates to open them?
Yeah.
Just drain it out.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I just love.
If you don't want to have fun.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm like, Animus is like coming up with this idea. Then you guys are like, what if we do this? He's like, I just want to be a shark.
Well, this situation still is the teleportation stone thing. We have 2 people who don't have one, 3 people who do.
I'll zoom out for you guys so you can see the whole area better.
Big. What are those little places?
They look to be ruins of some sort.
I
Could
like
be a gift shop.
Could be a gift shop.
Could be a gift shop.
No, me and Anzu, I wanna walk over to one of the gates and check it out.
All right.
And if I can
Roll.
I'm going to
diddle
swim and
something
beat
on
him.
there, I'll diddle.
Anzu, roll an Arcana check for me. And Zygon,
That's
roll a survival check for me.
That's
If
a
you're
Can I
gonna
just-
swim.
29.
Can I like sit on the beach and just put my toes in the water?
Yeah, it's very nice and cool. It's a relief. Oh yes, also, I need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw. Thank you for reminding me.
Whoops. But I'm in the
I
water
got
now.
a 29 on.
Okay. On the
14.
Arcana check.
Mine's a
14.
12.
Okay.
No, a
Yeah.
9.
I will
16.
I will say, because you guys are next to the Oasis, none of you suffer
I will
a point of
drink
exhaustion.
some of the Oasis water.
Okay. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay,
He chokes on
so
the water.
Anzu, as you're looking at these gates, you see that they
Refresh.
are,
It's
there is a
too bad.
mechanism
Please.
that is tied to these gates that would allow them to open, but there's some sort of switch or something of that nature that you, like an arcane switch.
We cast knock.
Go up to the giant, like 100-foot gate and cast knock. Oh man.
I mean, where is the switch?
You do not know that from just a Arcana check of the gate. You do know from how high that was. You do know that it could be a remote switch. That could be. It could be hundreds of miles away.
So Jacob, at the bottom of the
These two
lake,
structures.
is it like a city or is it just like a building?
It looks kind of like a like a prison almost. You see a few of the windows are very narrow. You see that the top looks like it has guard towers on it, and that this has been here a very long time.
And is it like whenever they go underwater in Star Wars, is there like a bubble around this, or is
No.
it like in the water?
It's in the water.
Oh, okay.
Alright. I would like to cast polymorph on myself
Okay.
to turn into an octopus.
All right. You are now a purple octopus with a little bit of a streak of white.
And I'm gonna.
Are you
I'm gonna
in the water?
make my way
Okay.
down and get closer.
All right. Yeah, you
What
begin
do
to
I
swim
see?
down there. Make an investigation check for me.
That is a 3.
Did you say a 3?
23.
Okay. I was like, I don't know how you rolled a 3. Anyway, so as you get closer, you can see that some of the parts of the wall have begun to crumble in. Parts of the towers are starting to kind of erode away through water. You go to where the arrow is, and you see it's lodged in the top of what looks like a crest of some sort. What is your well, roll a religion check for me, please.
Jacob, I would like to be swimming towards those structures down at the bottom of the boat.
Oh, okay. Avoiding the sand sharks, I see.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so
Don't want to
you
hustle with those guys.
what did you roll? Uh-oh. Hunter's mic is cutting out. Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
Hunter.
I think we lost our octopus friend.
Oh no, the octopus.
Oh.
He's gonna make good sushi, but otherwise it sucks.
Yeah, you're still having problems, Hunter. See if you can figure. If you need to, you can like drop in and out, and maybe that'll help. I don't know. So, Zygon, as you're swimming along,
Mhm. The breaststroke specifically.
yeah.
It's like Stephen Hawking.
Someone's like in Hunter's brain. Someone's got the E key stuck.
That's right.
So Zygon, which structure are you more interested in? The smaller one or the bigger one?
22.
Let's go for the large one first.
Okay.
Oh,
the large
22.
one. Cool. Okay, so as you're getting out of and going up onto the sand and going in, Anzu, you know that the crest, you see a double-headed axe, with the engraving of 2 scales on it, and you know that this is the symbol of the law bearer.
Bear lawyer?
The bear lawyer.
Get it either.
What is going on?
I think he's trying to say 22 over and over again, and it's just not working out very well.
Message, like, someone say something in like the actual like text chat.
Wub wub wub. Do 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 e. Do do do.
Oh, now he's just typing 22 over and over again.
All right, Hunter
So-
rolled 22.
You probably can't hear us then.
Hunter, get off your Wi-Fi. Switch to regular phone.
Hang on. Bear with us, everybody.
Wait.
Okay, so, Zygon. I don't know if he's on mic.
Welcome
I
back.
don't think he's
guys.
on mic. Okay.
We're
Wait.
figuring out look how cute Birdie is in her
Oh,
little
look at baby Birdie!
Burbs.
Chicago.
Birdie's the best. All right. So Anzu, the symbol that you saw on the structure that as you went down, is the symbol of the law bearer, who is one of the gods and is all about like justice and righteousness and law and stuff like that.
Righteousness.
Rochester. Not that kind of righteousness, but I like where your head's at.
Start bringing out a drum.
Yeah. Oh, we heard a drum.
Oh,
Where's
Man,
Brian?
now that's my headcanon. That's why
So,
because it's so righteous.
so this law bear, is he like a polar bear? Koala bear?
No, the law bearer is not a polar bear.
stupid.
Black bear. Okay.
Surprisingly,
Pain bear?
no.
Hold on. Okay, so Hunter's an octopus underwater. Brady's or Saigon's swimming. Are you swimming down or are you just swimming out?
I'm like, what did I
I'm
miss?
swimming down towards these buildings. They have a large one.
So Zygon's swimming down into the water, and then the rest of
Right,
us
like
are chilling.
down
No, no,
into the water.
like
or
downstream,
downstream?
down-
Oh, okay.
Downstream. And you said you wanted to go to the larger building, Zygon?
Yeah, the one on the left from the angle we're looking at.
All right.
Zygon.
So as you go in there,
Hey, Hunter.
Hunter, I feel like I can see your pores.
This is Hunter right now, guys. Sorry.
Ooh, girl.
So,
Or you're welcome. Either way you want to put it.
So Zygon, as you go in here, this building has been sandblasted over who knows how long. It stands empty. The walls are caved in. The door is gone from long ago. As you enter, make an investigation check for me.
Investigation. I get 6. So that is 18.
18. This appears to be a what looks like a former guardhouse, or perhaps like a checkpoint. As you kind of look around more, you begin to notice this looks like a area where people would come in if they were like bringing someone through, and they would have to stop at this checkpoint in order to be granted access into the area. What'd you roll in your investigation? I'm sorry.
It was 18.
18. You, no, that was a while ago. Anyway, you find an old desk, and inside it you find these pieces of parchment. And as you begin to read them, they're in Common, but it's like an older version of Common. So
Old
you,
English.
yeah,
Less common.
yeah, less common, as opposed to not common. But
Uncommon?
yeah, uncommon. Isn't it is it underspeak or undercommon? Yeah, there's undercommon, which is all in lowercase.
Upper common is just people yelling.
Yes, this is so stupid. Anyway, you begin reading it, and it has like names and then dates of their arrival, and these dates are hundreds of years ago. Like, they are pre-calamity. So as you're reading these, it's transfers from other prisons. So they're prisoner logs, essentially.
I guess this was a jail of some sort then.
Possibly.
Or at least like in relationship.
Okay. But yeah,
no names I recognize or anything.
No, most of them are faded. You're having to piece together to even get the idea that this was possibly a prison. You also notice that you notice a water line on some of the walls, to suggest that possibly this used to be a higher water level. However, by your estimation, this water line is recent. It is not from back then. It has just now started to show.
Where does the water line go to on the walls?
It goes to about halfway up.
Okay. That's a large amount of water. Okay.
You're also in kind of like a basin, so like here, let me see if I can get like a better view of this. Nope. So if you look, this is kind of in like a bowl. Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's maybe not as tall as initially thought, but it's still, I mean, that's still a really high water level.
Yeah.
Is that in the water?
Well, that's interesting.
Huh?
Is that in the water?
No, this is in the desert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is like very low. Yeah.
I'd like to check out the other building if there's nothing else for me to see.
Yeah. So Anzu, what are you doing while you're down at the bottom?
Can I explore? Or like...
You look around and you don't see an entrance.
Did he trip off the sensor?
From what you can tell, no.
Can I go up to the crest and pick it up, or
The crest is like
Yeah.
it's like in it's like part of the structure. It's not like a other piece. But yeah, you could grab the arrow if you want.
Yeah, I'll grab the arrow. Is there anywhere like else to go in, or is it?
So as you begin looking around,
I mean, I'm
the
octopus. I can squeeze in. Right?
yeah, you can squeeze through. The only the roof of the building is above ground. Possibly roll an investigation check as you're kind of checking the perimeter.
Can I like get out of the water and like
23.
knock an arrow and just kind of be ready?
Yeah, just at the ready. Okay.
Yeah.
So Anzu, as you're looking around the base of the structure, you notice blast burns on the sides of the walls. And as you begin looking around kind of at the rock in the area, this was demolished. It looks like this building went through some sort of demolition. Whether that was due to the calamity or due to decommissioning, you can't quite tell. You do see a crack, though, that you could probably fit through. And as you go through, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. As you kind of slide through, you feel a presence watching you, almost like a scry spell.
Piece of shit. Yeah, I'll just, pretend to be an octopus.
I'm just an octopus in the middle of a desert.
Okay, yeah.
Freshwater octopus in the middle of the desert, just wandering
Freshwater
around.
octopus do exist.
Yeah, I can't really like stop them or anything, I guess.
So as you kind of go in, you see that pieces of the roof have kind of like collapsed in, kind of like in a V shape, and that there is a slab that would be the next floor. There's what looks like an obsidian slab that has been placed to almost like cap, like how they like cap like oil wells. Whoever demolished this place does not want anyone in it.
Is there a reason why? Can I see anything? Or is it...
Not that you notice. You do know as you get closer to the obsidian slab, the arrow that you're holding in one of your tentacles begins to glow, with more energy.
Yes. Yes, keep going.
This is a solid
can feel
slab.
it.
You can't get through. Full
I
solid slab. You find there's literally no crease. As you're going to the side of the walls to see if possibly there's a crease that you can get through, this slab has been melded to the sides of these walls. There's no way you could get through here.
Can I kind of like tap on it to hear if it's hollow on the other side?
And yeah, it is hollow on the other side. There is some sort of cavern underneath it.
So there's air over there.
Yes.
Okay, I got a plan.
Oh god.
I'm gonna ignite the air.
I'm gonna
hate this plan already.
I'm gonna drop polymorph.
You're still underwater.
Yes, and then cast pass wall to go through.
Ooh. How much distance does pass wall cover is a really good question.
Let's see.
Can we see Anzu at the bottom, or is it kind of just
Not anymore. He went underneath the roof.
Okay. And Zygon, we can see Zygon kind of off in the distance.
Yeah, if you got like a telescope out, you could see him. Yeah.
But we know
Like
where
a dot.
We know,
You know
there's a
vaguely
couple,
where it
takes
is.
Pass wall.
around.
There's a couple buildings
The
over
range
there.
is 30 feet, and
You choose the opening dimensions.
yeah,
20
5 feet wide, 8 feet tall, 20 feet deep.
It says it only works on wooden, plaster, or stone surfaces. Am I going to classify obsidian as stone is the big question.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
So, all right, hear me out on this one. Jacob, test your Minecraft knowledge. How do you make cobblestone? You mix water and lava. Yes.
That is true. Yes.
How do you make obsidian? Mix
water
and
on
lava.
I'll play devil's advocate and say
No.
I'll play both sides. Number one, obsidian is technically glass made out of lava and water. Number two, though, my earth elemental's form is made out of obsidian.
That was more flavor than it was me acknowledging that obsidian is stone.
That's fair. It is obsidian at the end of the day is glass made from either dragon's breath or lava.
Give me some geology facts here.
According to this, I just typed in "is obsidian stone" into Google. The first thing that pops up says obsidian is an igneous
rock. Yeah, but it's rock stone.
Rock is a stone. Or stone is a rock.
What about the rock?
I'm just going to say Anzu does not want this to work. If he knows what's good for him, he does not want this to work.
That's fair. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, DM God.
The slab is not 20 feet deep. Yeah, I mean, this would technically work. However, do you want to go in alone?
Well, how else am I gonna do?
There's gonna be a way, Hank.
Do you want to go in?
It doesn't have to be you alone.
You can see. So as you cast Pass Wall and it goes through the obsidian slab, you can see. There's like a faint. There's really no light here, so your dark vision is pulling overtime.
Oh, it's up for an hour. Yeah, okay, I can just.
Yeah. You'd also be filling the chamber with water. Actually, does Pass Wall,
whoever would be waiting on us.
Does Pass Wall do that? Assuming they can drown.
It says the passage creates no instability in a structure surrounding it. I'm not too sure.
Then I would say the water wouldn't flow through.
It wouldn't
because
that
would cause instability.
It wouldn't create instability, but it would let anything outside of it pass through if you're going from top in instead of like. So water would go in.
This is such a weird case. I would say that water being. This much water being forced into the structure would cause an instability in said structure, just to make things a little bit easier on you guys.
But it's more the Pass Wall spell that doesn't create instability, not what's going in. So, like, I mean, if you created, like, say in a different instance,
that is fair.
If you create Pass Wall,
so I mean, if you want to rules lawyer this to the point where the entire thing floods, and then you guys have to go through here completely underwater.
Well, hold on. Here's my argument. We have a few big fights coming up. If for whatever reason we have a plan,
one of them might be right now.
If we have for whatever reason a plan in place where Anzu opens up a wall, which doesn't create instability opening the wall up, but then we throw something in that creates instability to then damage the building. Or the structure that, like, if we
that
have
is true.
Then on this ruling, like, if we threw a bomb inside a building, technically we just use the Pass Wall to throw something in to create instability. The water being the bomb in this case.
But
that is a fair point.
We're choosing to put the bomb into that area.
Yes, but he knows there's water. I'm just saying that we know there's probably another entrance into this. Jacob's already said it's probably not the best idea for him to go in. He can see in. The water's not going to immediately destroy the area, but eventually over time it will destroy the area by allowing that much water into a building that hasn't had water in it for a long time.
That's a bad idea. Ever stopped Anzu?
That is very true.
It's going to be more of a quick situation of does he want to go in or not, and how many times has he done this to the point where it's
So-
always
Okay,
been a
how
bad
about
idea?
this? How about I send a message
3 years
to
of
everyone?
sticking a finger in and pulling tarot cards.
Yeah,
So-
just got you out of that
Anzu,
Whatever you
situation.
learn.
real quick before you decide anything else, what you can see as you cast Pass Wall and water begins to kind of pour in, you see faint glimmers. Your dark vision is very, very faint in here. You see faint glimmers of what looks like glass, like large glass tubes, almost like a Bacta tank from Star Wars. I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but like just basically these large glass cylinders that are about human sized.
Mm.
And then the
Tia tell us
water.
about her dream.
I don't think she has. But they then the water kind of obscures everything. So if you want to
Yeah.
go in, you can.
Let me send a message.
Okay. Do you want to keep Passwall up while you're sending this message?
I don't think either of them are concentration.
They aren't. It's more of, do you want the water to keep pouring in
Pouring into the
the
Okay.
structure? Yeah.
no.
Okay. So you would have to close Passwall.
Why would I have to close pass wall? It's not
Because if you-
concentration.
No. What I'm saying is if you leave Passwall open, more and
Uh-huh.
more water is going to pour into. It's not a problem of concentration.
Is it like gushing in?
Yeah, because you're essentially taking a glass of water that is empty and putting a glass of water that is full on top of it.
Fuck you, Caleb. I'm gonna
Yeah,
close
It's
it.
gonna help
Caleb.
us later. No, it's gonna help us later, guys. Come on.
I would love it if Anzu never casts Passwall ever again because Hunter is.
No,
is
just think
fighting.
about if we have a bunch of enemies in a small
I
building,
think
and
Caleb's argument is sound.
if we need this in the future, it is better for us to find a different way into this because it's not that big of a deal for us to get into this exact way than if it works for us in the future where we use pass wall and we can fill a
He has a very
building
fair point.
with water or something that will get rid of the enemies inside compared to whatever
Okay.
because we don't even know what's inside right now. That's my big
I'm
thing.
also considering this puzzle solving, just so you guys know. So, batting 1,000 with puzzles again.
I'm playing
I'm
with
gonna-
and against us right now.
I'm gonna cast message. I'll just do it to Animus.
Okay.
Be like, I found it. You might want to teleport to me. I'm an octopus. Gobble gobble gobble.
No, you dropped octopus.
Yeah, you did drop it, remember?
Oh, okay.
We don't know that.
Are you in the fucking?
He didn't go down. He
No.
didn't go down.
I'll
there
message him
error?
and I'll be like, if you could please.
He is underwater.
If you could please come to me right now. I found it, but I'm about to drown.
Anzu,
like
do a quick
now.
investigation check for me.
Oh, that doesn't help my situation. Okay, so Thea and Cirrus.
12.
Anzu's found a way in.
And so you begin looking around in this area because remember, the only reason you were able to get in here is because you were an octopus. So as you're beginning to look around, you do see there's a small air pocket that you could crest up into,
Little air pocket.
but it will not last long. This
Yeah.
is very nothing will fill in here. This could be like minutes, maybe.
Just enough. Yeah, just enough time for them to get to me.
Yeah.
So,
So-
Anzu to Thea and Cirrus. Anzu said that he found a way in. He's still underwater, but it sounds like he was able to talk to me, so he must have found
Is he drowning?
Well, if he's able to talk to me and he's telling us to come down, I'm assuming he found some sort of air pocket. No knowledge of how long that could last.
Could last a few minutes.
Could last a few minutes, realistically.
A couple seconds, maybe.
But
Long
he
enough
did
for us to get down there.
long enough for us to be down there and try to figure something out. He does have a teleport stone. Realistically, we could have Thea go down, try to figure something out with him, and then maybe also try to see if Zygon's found a way in with those buildings over there. Because There's a couple. I mean, if he didn't find a direct entrance, there's got to be a direct entrance that's been blocked off somewhere.
I didn't even see that other building.
Look, I can actually put you guys underwater. It's kind of cool.
So is
Yeah, there is one more building up here.
So here's my thing. I can, if you want, turn into a giant shark. Probably not going to be able to fit in the area of an octopus. That's the only way I can get Cirrus to the bottom without drowning. Because I could.
does Zygon have a teleportation thingy?
Yes.
He does.
And
Okay.
Thea and Anzu have one, but me and you don't have one.
So okay, so I can go find Zygon. You two go down there. I go to Zygon, relay information, and meet you guys down there.
The stones do not teleport multiple people at the same time.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's why I was
Yeah.
saying I can turn into something to get you down there, and then I can find my own way in as some sort of shape.
Theoretically,
When I
Thea
see no one's
could.
there.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Hey.
I thought they would if you grabbed someone else.
No, that was a different
That
set
was
of
the one-
teleportation
those were
stones
the
that you
first
had
ones
that
we
were,
found.
They were essentially a two-way radio where they would work together.
That's the one we.
That's the one I have, right?
No, we found.
you
we
have
the world
you
stones.
have the world stones that allow you, as long as the central stone is on the same plane you guys are on, you guys can literally teleport across the entire plane.
Who is the central stone?
Okay.
Is it Braun?
I believe Braun has the central stone.
Why did we do that?
We may have to get
Bad
that back
idea.
from him at some point, but he is on the same.
I could
plane.
just retcon it and say that he put it in Anzu's office.
Braun's still technically
Braun
is
still
working out
technically
of our
exists in the world,
He
and
works
he's a
out of our
member of the
guilds.
guild, and he may or may not make a guest appearance at some point. Who knows?
And he
Probably
also
not, but-
knows how the world stones work because he was traveling with us for about a year, so he knows that if he were to leave this plane, he would need to leave the world stone somewhere.
Yeah, and he has traveled planes
So,
at this point.
Semitically,
I have
we're
his
fine.
story in my brain.
We are fine on
But he
that.
left it with Mathis. I bet that's what he did.
I think the main thing is, as long as it's not in our possession, it shouldn't be coming into possession of big bats.
Well, also, I am not going to be like, hey, you know that thing that's really important to you guys? Yeah, I off-screen got rid of it. I'm never going to do that. I'll
Right.
never do that to you guys.
I will
Gonna
hold you
start
to that.
drowning soon.
Yeah. In this one instance. Just
I still think I still think somebody should go tell Zygon what's going on,
I agree with you.
so that when he waltzes back, we're not like
Well, I think
not here
Thea.
anymore.
And
Well,
I will
I'm gonna
probably
send
just
another
teleport when I
message.
see everyone's gone.
Okay, I think. Hold on. I think.
I'm gonna send another message and be like, "Hello, Animus. I'm going to die soon. Please be quick."
It's fine.
Can I return? Can I return a message if I don't have message?
No, message. We
no.
can whisper to each other.
yeah, message is it's like a can and a string. Man, I'm doing a lot of analogies tonight. It's like
I'll get back to him.
What is this, Jacob?
Anzu.
can and string.
Anzu, there may be another way in that's safer for all of us. If you want to teleport back up to Thea, we just can't get everyone down to you right this moment. I don't know how many words that is. I'm hoping it was within.
Oh, you're fine. Message is slightly different from sending.
Secondary conversation. Thea, if you want to go down to Anzu, you can always teleport back up to Zygon. The more pressing matter would be trying to get all of us down there. Cirrus and I do not have a direct way in to where Anzu is. And he said he found a way in, but it's not the easiest way in. So I'm just not sure if we should send all four of us down there, not knowing if two of us could drown.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna go down then.
We will. So before you head down, Cirrus and I will go hunt down Zygon, who just went downstream a little bit to these buildings we can see far off in the distance. So if you need to teleport to him, and we'll all rendezvous and try to figure out another way. Otherwise, one of you guys can message us, and we can try to figure out how to get in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Jacob, I have 5 of the dust of dryness pellets. Is it worth?
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know the math on that. Like, if I just do 15 times 5, it's 75. But I
Yeah, that'd be 75 cubic feet. The big issue is that just because you're removing the water does not mean you're adding oxygen.
No, I
Um,
know. It's like
but-
less you have to get back up to.
But
That
if
is
she
true.
dropped, it would create a cylinder that would eventually fill over time, but she could get down there quick enough before the cylinder completely
I mean, I can
closes
just
in.
teleport.
She can also just
The water
teleport.
I
which
also
would be-
have...
Thinking in general, for safety reasons, maybe if there's a little bit less water, that would be nice.
I also have 9 other pellets of Dust of Dryness.
I'm just going to tell you guys right now, you will not be able to affect the water level in any super
But
meaningful way.
for a momentary... For a brief moment, we could get rid of water to create more of an air pocket that would eventually...
Theoretically, however, Brady's losing it right now.
Wouldn't that cause a wave though?
Just teleport.
I'll just go. I'm just dimension door, baby.
They're just wanting to use their cool stuff, Brady. Just let them use their
I
cool
get it.
stuff.
No, I get it. I get it.
I just dimension door. I had no
Okay.
safety measures. I'm just gonna go.
Okay, so you are now down there with Anzu. You're wet because, water.
Yeah.
But as that's going on, Zygon, this structure that you're arriving at, the door has been broken down, but this structure is relatively new. Like, you would probably date it 50 to 75 years. Like, it's been there, it's weathered, it's sandblasted, but it's still standing. It's still a structure. You see a singular cot in one corner. You see a writing desk with a few papers on it, and then you also see this large piece of artwork hanging on the back wall.
I'd like to examine the desk first.
Okay, may an investigation check for me.
Don't open the drawers.
17.
All right.
I'd like to
Brady.
open the drawers immediately.
Brady, I am going to send you a document.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Part of one, anyway. I will private message it to you.
Accidentally puts it in group chat.
Take it! Okay, I just sent it.
Okay.
So as you're going through, you find bits of paper with different dates on them, but you don't recognize these dates. The months are different, and the year is very different from what you're used to. You don't really find anything else.
I just saw that you asked me how my concert was last month. My bad.
No worries.
My
The
bad.
DM's job is to check in with his players, even in their personal lives, but don't get too weird about it, everybody. Anyway, that is not part of the document I sent you.
No, sorry, yeah.
You also, looking at this large painting, it covers the majority of the back wall. And you see what looks like this beautiful, shining city full of arcane light, with large gondolas, kind of like at ski resorts, like when they connect to mountains and stuff. Snow-covered mountain. But it looks very prosperous, but the architecture is super unfamiliar to you. It doesn't look like anything that you've seen in Taldore or any of the other continents. Very weird. Very strange.
Are there 3 buildings and a river oasis in the painting?
No. This is like a mountaintop, snow-covered, it looks almost like a ski resort kind of atmosphere, like a town that's like built into a mountain and then is like kind of an attraction-based town.
Oh wow. Okay, so no, I'm sorry. I just finished reading.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be a thing.
Jacob, as me and Animus are walking towards Zygon, I would like to reenact the scene from Brother Bear. where I
Oh,
do
okay.
the I Spy
Uh-huh.
thing.
Yep. Yep.
Is it during
All
the
right.
same scene where they like the Phil Collins song is playing, where it's like "Tell everybody I'm on my way"? Is it like right around that?
I have no idea. I
Oh.
just remember that one scene. It was like, I spy something green. A tree? Yes.
Oh
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Man, that movie's great. Brother Bear is super underrated.
So good. The first Brother Bear is one of the best Disney movies in my opinion. I
I
love
like the sequel. The sequel's
it.
fine.
I don't think the sequel's bad. I think the first one's just so good though.
Yeah, and it's Joaquin Phoenix. Who would you ever think would be in a Disney movie? Like, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah. So you guys, after playing I Spy something that is sand, basically for about
Yes.
15 minutes. You guys eventually make it to over here where Zygon is. Zygon, you finish reading the documents and kind of what do you want to do with them? Where do you want to put them? Like, do you want to put them back?
I want to
Like,
hold on to. No, I want to keep them. I want to put them in
okay.
my bag of holding, I guess.
Okay, so you guys see him slide some paperwork into the bag of holding, but you don't quite know what it is.
Can I
But yeah,
sneak
you guys
up
are-
on him? Can I?
Do you want to roll a stealth check?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead. You're gonna have to beat
Coming
his
in from the
passive
back
perception.
Oh, I would like to like sneak up to him and be like, Zygon, in a very different voice.
Sand Ghost.
Stealth check is a 16, Jacob.
Zygon, what is your passive perception?
Where's that at?
I'd like to help. I'd like to help Cirrus.
How is passive
I've got
perception
it.
process?
It's my passive
like-
wisdom.
I'd like to help Cirrus and add guidance to him, and also talk in
Oh yeah, you can do like voices.
I
and
can
shit.
talk in abyssal.
You can
and
literally do
I'm
any
gonna
voice you've
talk
heard.
in abyssal and repeat some demons that we've probably come up against in the past 3 years.
Oh, that's not terrifying at all.
Zygon,
Okay.
we're watching you, Zygon.
Zygon, you do not hear them sneaking up on you.
I was gonna say my passive wisdom is 15, or my passive.
Oh, just barely.
I
Just
added. I
barely.
helped added guidance and also.
Yeah, you hear ghosts / demons behind you as you're looking at these papers.
I'm gonna. Zygon's been here before. He's just gonna go lay down on the cot and accept his fate.
It's
Everything is
time.
fine.
It's time, Zygon.
You
I've come
now
for
see
you.
them. You now see them. You
As
know
as
that
I
that's what
walk
you
in,
do.
still doing the voice. We've
Yeah.
come for you, Zygon.
I mean, they technically have.
My God.
I'm just joking with you. You gotta find some fun times here and there, you know.
Nope, it's
That's
just
fair,
Cirrus.
that's fair.
No god here.
Or demon.
Yet.
Thank God. Thank the hills. So I found a little something that you guys might find interesting. I'd like to pull the paperwork out and give it to him.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and post it into the general chat. So we'll just say that if it comes up that you guys have shared the information.
And I'll say it made me think of the tanks with the copies of ourselves that we destroyed.
Oh yeah. Wait. That would mean that they beat us here. Right?
But the dates are way off.
No, but you know the
just-
the five have been planning this for years.
So not only are the,
Solaris 5. 12
you don't need to read them out.
I came.
Stop!
I'm
Stop!
gonna
Stop
get
it!
rid of you,
Stop!
Hunter.
Stop! Stop!
I
Hunter,
will
no,
kick
not
you.
yet. We're
I will-
not there yet.
I will kick you out of this group right now. Anyway, not only are the dates like the actual like years and everything weird, but the months are not months that exist that you've ever heard.
Did I know these months from my
No,
vision whenever I became?
no,
Okay.
you
So
didn't look
these,
at a
like-
calendar.
Are these like journal entries?
They're journal entries, yeah.
Find the last 2 or 3 to be a little disheartening.
This is interesting.
Could I do like a history check? Does any of this like sound familiar to me?
Go ahead.
I'm proficient in history.
Well, we haven't shared this yet. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna allow it just because we'll assume
Oh wait, I'm
that you
underwater.
guys share.
I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
I make a history check, Jacob? If any of these
Stay
are...
it down
Wow.
with me yet.
I will show it to Thea
Yeah,
when we find her.
Thea is with you, Andrew,
Realistically, we will
forgot.
show this to Thea when we find her. It's not like we're not gonna have another chance at this.
Steal my thunder, why don't you?
I'm gonna do it for you and give you all the credit. There you go. Jacob, can I make a history check?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I just rolled to see what I would have rolled, and I rolled a natural 20 and a natural 19. So can I count those for later?
I will allow it, yes.
I rolled a 24.
Okay. So what exactly are you wanting to glean here?
Me?
Either or both of you.
Go first, Abby. It was your thing.
Like, do the months sound familiar? Like, do I know who would have maybe used that kind of time system? Or...
No. You are not familiar with this whatsoever. There's no societies there's elf culture, dwarven culture, none of them use these months, or the year is also wrong. When people write dates, it kind of like in our world how it's like AD and BC, there's pre and post calamity, or divergence. No, it's pre and post divergence. Anyway, either way, there's usually an acronym that comes after the year. This does not have that.
But the weirdest part is this building is much more modern than the other building I already went to.
My history check, Jacob, is going to be based on handwriting.
Handwriting.
I have seen all of the handwriting from the 5 at this point, most likely, if they've all done research and been part of this for the past year or so that we've been following them.
That's an interesting thought to have, but I'll follow.
Okay, so if we've been following
Jacob
this
does
long,
not agree.
no, hold on. Let me explain it. Right, if I have expert forgery and I process these things,
I will
perfectly,
agree that you are able to discern handwriting very, very well.
It would be more so. My basis on this would be if any of the 5 from my dream who I possibly think moved over to this realm from the other dimension or the other universe, and they moved over to this, and they possibly did what is said in this, and I mean we all know this now, so I'll say this to our audience, is basically saying that they're finding subjects that they're like trying to identify. I don't know the exact like thing here, but like they're identifying certain subjects, and it's also that they're trying to kind of set themselves up in this desert from after coming to consciousness in this desert, and the world's very different to them. This makes me think this is possibly those same 5 and possibly the 3 who came over with Marqueus. If any of them did any research in either the labs that we were in, the basement under the what is that one guild that Abby played with?
I will just.
Well, hold on,
so
wait.
What you are getting at here, you have not seen Marqueus's handwriting.
Okay.
You have seen Shavira's.
Have I seen any of the 3?
fact, it is Shavira.
You have not seen any. Well,
I would have seen.
No, maybe Herdans. They were not the ones sending the messages.
Well, research-wise, though, I'm just trying to see if anything matches.
They are not researchers. I will say that they are not researchers. So therefore, you do identify Shavira's handwriting, though. You can clearly tell Shavira's handwriting. You have multiple versions of her research notes.
Does this match any handwriting I've seen in any of the main locations we have found? Whether it's the dungeon, the play.
I'm trying.
Hold on, Abby. What guild? I keep forgetting. Did you play part of?
Flagon Slayers.
The clasp.
The clasp. Thank you. that big
The
room
hideout
under the
underneath,
clasp where they had all
yeah.
that research about when the final days were going to be. And then also before that, we found different hideouts based on Shavira and Marqueus. We had the big snow forest that we went through. So I'm just wondering if anything matches.
Most of that is Shavira's research. Man. Trying to think. I will say that you have seen a handwriting that you have not put a person to yet.
Okay.
Mainly because the writing has been mostly in the third person.
Does it match from one of the locations we've been to, though? Even if I can't put a person to it, do I match it to...
The research on the Zenith is very similar to this handwriting. However, because you are a master forger, the handwriting of this is with a younger person's hand. It's slightly faster. It's less neat. It is more aggressive. And it is almost there's also like inconsistencies, like the way that they make their A's changes as the days go on.
Does that possibly discern
almost
to a change, like because they changed bodies?
Well, so if you read the first entry and kind of the second one, the process that the author of this went through was very arduous and caused a lot of fatigue. So the early entries show that sign of fatigue.
Okay. So possibly from the transfer, I could probably collect that it's a possibility that that transfer and then possibly into a different body may have, or a body that they took over here could have caused that.
I will not say one way or the other.
Okay.
I start looking at the painting.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I recognize this handwriting a little bit, but I just have never really figured out who it was. But I feel like we can connect this to the Five and Marqueus. I just don't know how.
Well, it's possible that even in their younger life, their handwriting could be different, and we don't know how old these really are.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here. Is it's kind of like, I mean, it says here, in some sort of way, at the earliest date they came to consciousness in a damp, deep room under the earth, and the others are still in the process of a soul transfer, and then this person's going to explore surrounding areas. That's the first tidbit of this.
And they go to Oman.
This could possibly be mean that that this is the first person who got their soul transfer, and if this matches from the vision I had of Marqueus and his brother Mathis, who we've already confronted on this, and then the three that followed Marqueus into finding and getting the power that they ended up needing to move over here. This could be the first of those three to transfer souls, or could be Marqueus himself. I just don't have any solid evidence of that right now. But I mean, yeah, it definitely seems
bad news.
Yeah, I mean, this is also, we know that they've been part of this plane of existence for some period of time, even probably outdating myself. Definitely outdating myself. So that could be the inconsistencies we see.
Do you think it outdates Anzu?
No, not Anzu.
No, he's stupid old.
I don't know if it
Big crazy stupid old.
I would doubt it outdates Anzu or even Thea, but I could outdate. I mean, it definitely outdates
Even
me.
Thea, how old do you fucking think Thea?
Well,
Thea's like what, 100 and something?
I have only existed.
204 now, I think.
I have only existed on the material plane for 20 odd years, and I've existed overall for 33, 34 now. But realistically, I mean, we're talking, they could have after everything we found, the 5 have been in process even before or during Thea's mother, who was part of what we believe are the 5, and they eventually switched over or something.
Cirrus. You're looking at the painting, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Make an investigation check for me.
All right.
Blue skin too. We get to.
Love Blue's Clues.
Just jump into the painting.
Or it's like that scene in Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
That's a 12. You said investigation, correct?
Yes. Your keen ranger eyes. You dial into the trees of
that's
this painting.
Looks like a.
These trees you have never seen before.
Huh.
You have
Like
seen
ever.
You have never seen a tree that looks like this. It is a conifer tree, which means that it produces needles. And it
So it's like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, the needle shape though is so it's like a singular needle, and then the needle itself is barbed. It's like a really pokey pine tree.
Almost rosebush kind of thing going on.
But you have never seen these trees before. It is not insane to think, with the information that you currently have, that these are trees from a different plane, potentially. As you get closer, you notice the pigment on the trees is ever so different from one section to the other, almost as if 2 different paints were used, or like 2 different compositions, which is very common for a painting this large.
So how big is it?
It is roughly like a 15 by 20 foot painting. Like it covers almost an entirety of a wall.
Jesus.
There goes my plan. Okay. Can I touch the painting? Just.
Yeah.
I want to
touch it. It's a painting. It's on canvas.
Constitution saving throw.
You're now poisoned. It is a canvas painting. You do notice that some of the paints that were used, it is clearly painted in like separate times. There's more weathering on parts of the painting. You also see part of it beginning to kind of peel.
Like in a corner, or
no,
or like the paint itself.
The paint itself is starting to peel, but it's not flaking off. It's literally like peeling, like how you peel off a Band-Aid.
Right, like sticker kind of thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Peel it.
Zygon Animus, quick question.
Yes.
How much do either of you care about paintings? Just in general.
Are you trying to do something to this painting that's going to destroy it?
Look.
What do we care?
Why can't we just wait? Hold on. Could we just take it down if you're trying to look behind it or something?
It's. Have you seen the size of the painting?
Well, yeah,
it's massive.
It's on a big canvas. One of us just grabs either side and pulls it down. Then we don't destroy it.
But
why do you want to save it so bad?
Well, okay.
Animus.
So
as you're looking at the scope of this painting, Animus, you recognize this place.
Holy
fuck!
Oh shit!
You recognize some of the buildings. You passed through them yourself. Gosh. This is the capital city, Telmaros, that you were in the vision that you had.
Okay. So as I'm reading the documents, I'm like, well, seriously, I don't know. Holy shit! Stop, everyone! Stop.
I'm just so good looking.
No, seriously, wait. I know this place.
You gotta love tieflings.
I know this place.
Start like caressing my horn.
No, this is This would connect this correct. This is the same city I was in when I was in Marques's body.
Okay. Secondary question.
I don't know if we don't destroy it. Maybe that might.
No, just
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry. No, I'm
Wouldn't
sorry.
it
No,
piss
sorry.
Marquez
No,
off?
no,
Marquez.
okay, no, you can go ahead.
Finish the question.
Go ahead.
Jacob, the peeling part, is it like a tree or is it like a building?
It's part of the wooded area. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Animus. I kind of point to the peeling area. Does this look familiar? Or does it look right?
Jacob.
To all your very spotty memory, yes, it looks there was wooded areas. It was so Talmaros is the capital city of whatever region you were in. You just gleaned that, and it's kind of a tourist town, but also like a religious city. It has a lot of religious significance. There were wooded areas, but there's also like arcane trams, and like it's a lot more advanced than the technology that you guys currently have. Yeah, that's basically it. It looks right.
Can I kind of poke? Sorry, go ahead.
You want to poke the?
I want to poke like that specific. Is it like cut out and then?
It's not canvas.
It's not.
As you
Now
poke it,
wait.
Hold on.
Wait. As I see he's going to poke it, I'm gonna give him the tooth from the sandworm.
Poke it with the sandworm.
Okay.
Poke it with the tooth.
It pokes through.
Oh.
And as you pull it back, there's another piece of paper stuck on the tooth, and it pulls away, and you see that part of the canvas is actually blank as 3 more sheets of paper come down. And you begin looking at them.
Oh my god.
So let me.
It's more journal entries.
It is.
All right. So while Jacob's doing this,
Stuff is a little bit more spicy.
I had something I wanted to do, and I'm just going to start this right now for audience purposes. While we were reading, there was 4 journal entries. I already read the first one. The second one talks about how they weren't this person who wrote this journal entry, not the biggest fan of the desert, but it helps out in the situation they were in, most likely because it was secluded. And they also talk about how the others who they're with are still regaining themselves. And once they are more connected, they will begin scouting the closest cities. The next entry talks about how they found subjects and identified them, and that they are instructed the trio to find suitable subjects for the local urchin population that could possibly be from the area around Marquette. And this person has learned about society specializing in the magical arts, and that their lab is now running, and that they will venture to find the city of Amon. The 4th entry talks about the world being primitive and backward, and that does apply to the fact that this world is not as far ahead as
technologically advanced.
Yes. Yeah. The Cobalt Reserve, that's a big point here. Cobalt Reserve is a fine beginning point, but this world has little understanding of how truly to harness the arcane potential. Perhaps this person can find unsuspecting minds to the point towards advancement. What I was going to say as Animus, I was letting some stuff go. I think it may not be a bad idea to possibly try to redraw the faces of the 3 and maybe show them to people in the area and see if anyone recognizes them. And also maybe ask the Cobalt Reserve if they know any information about these 3. And maybe also draw Marques's face. Because if I can get a good enough sketch down and people remember the faces well enough, then we could possibly information, especially since we're in Marquette and this is where they originally decided that that's where their stuff was from. But I haven't read the next stuff, so.
How's everyone doing on the reading, by the way?
Oh, I didn't even know you sent it. My bad.
Yep. So you guys begin looking through this, and we'll say that Thea and Nancy.
Son of a bitch.
It just makes it more interesting.
Can I just read this for audience purposes?
If you would like, you can. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Since everyone's reading anyway. Okay, so next journal entry, it's a different month, different day. I've made contact with a member of the Cobalt Conservatory. He seems to be
Oh,
similar
God.
mind to us. He believes the Shadowfell will be a great testing ground for our newest batch of subjects. That connects me to this, possibly. The next journal entry is the next day. Velshanar is a fool. Velshanar being Anzu's old friend from creating
One of the
the
founding
Cobalt
members of the Cobalt Conservatory. Yes.
He is also most likely the person, the mage who controls the Shadowfell currently, and is the one who gave me a lot of my powers and my curse in the first place. Velshanar is a fool. He nearly killed me in a ridiculous duel of his. The elf woman's spell gave me the cover I needed, though. I will return to the site later. Wait.
Elf woman, though. Elf woman.
Wait. He nearly killed me in this ridiculous...
His mother, potentially?
Wait. Who's he dueling with? Stop. Velshanar's a fool.
What
Hold.
duel
Let
do
me
you
read.
guys know of?
Stop. Everyone stop for a sec. Everyone stop.
We know
This
this.
is... Stop.
This happened.
Stop. Hold on. Velshanar is a fool. He nearly killed me in that ridiculous duel of his. Velshanar being one side of the duel. Anzu being the other side of the duel. The elf woman spell gave me cover I needed. I will return to the site later. Either Anzu had some sort of moment in this, or this person was hiding in the middle of this duel. Next journal entry is 7 days later. The Shadowville has proven to be an adequate testing ground. The only issue appears to be the soul transference. Perhaps we could house these in another vessel while testing. More research required. And then another 14 days later, or no, another month and a different day. I don't know how long.
Year.
It is Bringoth the 12th, 1279, and then the next one is Fyodor 26.
They're fake words. You can pronounce them how you want.
Fyodor 26, 1283 is the next entry. A young woman.
4 years later.
It's 4 years. Yeah.
A young woman came to my premises today. Her Dan, one of the three, was apprehensive, but she doesn't have the perception of the arcane touched. She introduced herself as Shavira. I quickly surmised her true nature. She could prove useful. The final one being in the same year, but we don't know how many months later, Narkar 31st, 1283. The zenith occurred yesterday. My theory was correct. The ley lines appear to shift for this one day. This could be a way to breathe life back into Telmaros. I will need to find a way to link the two world souls. Perhaps the dragon will have the knowledge of this.
Lore dump.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is a lot. Sirius and Saigon. Since Anzu's not with us, we can talk about this openly without him having anything to say about the situation.
You bastard.
Is Anzu part of this? Number one. Number two, I don't think he is. But number two, did Anzu know of this person? Was he part of the Cobalt Conservatory at the time? Because this person does talk about how they were near the Cobalt Conservatory, and they were at least in some sort of contact with the members of the Cobalt Conservatory, at the very least Velshanar. And if Velshanar had been in contact with him, maybe Anzu had also been in contact with him.
So there's also, because I think this is kind of hard to see, you know when the date in this system has the zenith, because he says they say it's you know who it is. In the last entry there where it talks about the zenith, you can actually date that because you know when the zenith is in your calendar. So if you guys want to look up the Taldore calendar,
this could also mean if that the members of the five post Thea's mother, or with Thea's mother being included, and then also either leaving the five or going into hiding. As we know, Thea has told us her mother joins that small town at the end of her life. The members of the five, mostly Shavira in this case, had some sort of inclusion in helping them figure out what was going on and what possibly was the best day to do what the Zenith is trying to do in the next month or so, and bring all of the arcane magic from our world over back into Telmaros's world and universe. And then other than that, it's just everything we've already known. They're trying to link two world souls, and they're also doing it on the day of the Zenith.
I just can't wait until we get to see Thea and Anzu's reactions to this. It's going to be great.
But since us three are here without Zia and Anzu's reactions, I think it's a
Zia?
good time for us.
He marble-mouthed a little. Let him have it.
I think it's
little.
Could we tell Thea, with the pregnancy, we wouldn't want to stress it around.
Great callback. Great callback.
You're right. We
Gosh,
might not
dang
want
it,
to.
Brady.
You all let me teleport underwater while pregnant?
Listen. Okay.
What's wrong with you?
I wasn't there.
I don't know if I want to say that Zia... fucking... It's the Zenith. It's the Zenith thing. The Zenith and Thea are...
Words are hard.
I don't
because
know.
my girlfriend's parents have a dog named Zia, and so I keep thinking of that.
Thea, I don't know if we want to say that Thea and Anzu are in any way part of this. They may have information that could help us at the very least, considering Thea's background with her mom being part of the Five, and more importantly, Anzu's background being a friend of Velshinar's, and also, according to this, being at the Cobalt Conservatory when Velshinar and Anzu had their duel, and Thea's aunt ended up and I guess I forgot Anzu's wife saved Anzu, getting rid of Velshinar and sending him into the Shadowfell, and doing everything that I then witnessed.
I also want you guys to pay attention to the first message of the second chain.
Residium.
Yeah.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
also don't know the full story of the fight.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. Residium. I've
It's
finally
pronounced
found.
residuum.
Thank you. I've never seen that word
You're
spelled
good.
out.
Oh, don't worry. This is like established in Critical Role.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If you know
We
Critical
found
Role, you
Residuum
know
one
this.
day, didn't we?
Residuum, I've finally found a solution to the gestation problem that we've been experiencing. I've made contact in Whitestone that will smuggle large amounts of residuum. Our work can progress at a faster pace. I think that's
gosh dang
something.
it, there's a typo.
I think that's something we already knew as a group, was that Residuum was a big part of what they were doing, considering the whole Whitestone explosion and all that, and the fact that Residuum is such a big part of power in Whitestone and why it's such a...
Do you think the contact in Whitestone was the fake Vesper?
No, I don't know, because then that would mean that... because Vesper herself was not taken over until more recently in our years, and this is
Also, going off of this timeline of where the Zenith is, you would also know that this would have been when Vesper was either a child or not born yet.
I don't think it has any. I think that putting the demon that became Vesper and took Vesper's place into Whitestone as a leader was part of this plan for sure.
Wait a minute. How old's Daryl?
Daryl!
What would you guys do if Daryl was actually like?
I didn't at all.
Just-
Big bad evil guy?
I didn't at all.
Oh, if I was that smart, I would have done it. But
I'd follow
that
him.
needs to be the thing. The Tavern Keeper
I'd
at the beginning of a
follow him to the
campaign
end.
should be the big bad. That'd
Don't
be
give
so
me ideas,
awesome.
Jacob. Don't give
That's
me
a
ideas.
great idea. Anyway,
You guys are
moving-
all gonna suspect the first Tavern Keeper in my campaign.
just kill them on
It'll be the
sight.
second tavern.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. I think we've
Well,
gone
that's
over
cute. Jacob, I did have a question.
I have
Yes.
to pee.
How
Go
did
ahead.
the dates on here correlate to the dates from the prisoner transfer in the other building?
So the prisoner transfer was way long ago, like thousands of years ago. potentially hundreds. Like I would say no earlier than 500 years ago.
I'll tell the others what I knew about that, about how there used to be a prison transfer. I don't know if they were holding people around here or what, and also about the water level being high recently.
Yeah. All right.
And I would like to check out that last building before we leave the area. I don't know if we're gonna try and do that before too long.
Getting over there is going to be a little bit of a journey, but yeah, we could say you guys get over there.
Was there anything else? Like, is there?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. That's cocked. Fuck. There's nothing else, Jacob.
Ding.
I got a 4.
A 4. You check the desk. You flip the cot. Nothing else of really any value. You begin kind of scratching at different places on the painting that you think
I'm
maybe are loose.
Fucking paranoid now.
Yeah, you're like, it's gotta be somewhere. There's nothing else that you really notice, and it does make sense.
So okay, so like where it was folded out. Is there like canvas behind it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's okay.
Yeah, there's just a blank spot on the canvas.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, that's all you can really discern. Thea and Anzu.
Yes.
The air's getting thin. It's gonna be a little bit hard. The arrow is still glowing, so that's cool. But yeah, what are you guys gonna do?
2 seconds. Look at my spells.
So I know this is a super high level spell, but if all else fails, you could do the mansion underneath here, and then the mansion is technically like an extra dimensional space, so you wouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, can I find out like what Anzu, like what have you found under here?
So, here's what I found. I can pass wall through that slab right over there, and then when I do that, you'll see a bunch of cylinders and a dark room, and that's really it.
No creatures that you've noticed moving around?
I don't believe so. I mean, maybe there's some rats. Hopefully. It's just rats. Maybe Animus is in there. Who knows?
Could be. It could be.
Secondary Animus.
No, I'm in 2 places at once.
Getting to... Jacob, were you advising against him going in there?
I would advise against anyone that isn't the whole group going in there, but yes.
It's scary when a DM has to advise something.
Most DMs would just be like, yeah, you go in there and then the thing happens, but I don't want you I don't want you guys to die from lack of information.
Your characters basically know this is a bad idea.
Yeah, you would be like, especially Thea dealing with Anzu. Like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you how your character would think because you know what you're doing. But I would strongly recommend that you do not go in there unless all 5 of you are present. And even then, it's going to be hairy.
It's just going to be 2 worms.
Second worm. No one ever suspects second worm.
There's always a bigger worm.
Nice.
Well, we should probably just go find the others, and I'll go and see.
Yes, I suppose. So now what? Do we just... Can we get to them? How are we going to get back here? Do we just...
I Hmm. Um, I can cast Sending and
Yes.
tell them to meet us here.
Yes.
I'm gonna cast Sending
Okay.
to Animus. I assume he's with most people.
You know he's at least with Cirrus, and then he was on his way to Zygon.
That's 2 of 3.
Possibly 3.
You all should meet us down here. I think we should go in as a.
I respond to her. You know too much, you traitors. We found you out. I'm kidding. Before I respond to that, can I? What did Cirrus and Zygon hear before, or what did they say when I was on a bathroom break? / always
Literally. nothing.
Cirrus just checked the room again just to make sure.
I knocked
And I
on
wanted
like
to go check the
every
other
wall.
building.
Secondary thing.
Getting to the other building is going to be a little bit of time, so it is a little time sensitive considering that Thea and Anzu are, you know.
They're fine.
Okay. Secondary thing before I respond to this, and also before this time actually happened. Assuming everything we know is adding up, then the Shadowfell being a testing ground for newest batches of subjects, and also knowing that they used Kinku as the world soul. Jacob, are they pieces of the world souls? Is that what it was, or are they all a world soul themselves? Is that what we found out?
You don't know.
Either way, though, either there were world souls added to each of them, or pieces of the world soul were added to each of them, possibly including myself, considering my vision of remembering when we were sent through the portal into our different planes of existence, mine being into the material plane and up to the Arashari. That is what would connect all of the Kinku and possibly other races, but most likely just Kinku as of what we know right now, to what they were testing in the Shadowfell. They were also able to use the Shadowfell as a place for not only testing grounds, but also getting a large amount of power. And I still am not 100... Do I know what they were mining in the Shadowfell? I was pretty young. And I also spent a ton of time with Velshinar slash Erebus Incubus.
Are you guys coming down?
Hold on. That timeline is about to hit. Don't worry.
So you were just mining the rock of the Shadowfell. You never really. It wasn't being used as a power source.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it could have been me talking to Zygon and Cirrus. Maybe they were just making sure that we were some sort of slaves into some sort of system that made sure that we were never strong enough to actually fight back. We were always tired. We were always controlled to do something. Maybe the Shadowfell doesn't have anything that they were actually trying to get. Maybe the thing they were trying to get in the Shadowfell was us as the slaves. Hold on, Thea's now sending.
She's contacting me.
Thea's contacting
I'm receiving
me.
a special report
From the big giant head.
Thea wants.
No, Third Rock reference? Nobody?
Thea also is now saying that she said we should go down and meet them in this area. I mean,
Once
Zygon.
we lure them in, we're gonna kill them.
Zygon, you can head down there with teleportation, and I can take Cirrus down there with me. Do you guys want to head down there?
You guys can go ahead and I'll check out the building and just meet you down there.
We'll stay together, and then I'll send Thea that we'll be heading our way.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. May as well
The,
just commit seppuku.
Thea,
Literally told you we're drowning. Like,
Thea, we
10
have
minutes ago.
Big Zygon.
No, it happened just now. She just told me.
I wish I could like group them, but I can't move them as quickly.
Thea, we have found information that is very important and connects us to the Five and Marques's plans. We will head down to you ASAP. That was exactly 25.
Nice. Except ASAP is an acronym, but
Exactly.
anyway, I'll allow
ASAP is both an acronym and its own thing. Thank you.
Like Band-Aid.
I'll just say soon if it does. If ASAP's too much.
Or you could say now.
So,
Yeah.
as the group is continuing on, I will say that Thea and Anzu are crafty enough that they could survive long enough if they do want to stay underwater. If not, you guys could come to the surface.
They use the torch method to generate oxygen.
Yeah. Or the pellets. The sand pellets taking away water, displacing the water, and then creating
that wouldn't
oxygen
add
in the place.
oxygen. That's not how that works.
But
They
Jacob,
place a door down.
Exactly. We're doing Minecraft rules.
But Jacob, scientifically, water has oxygen in it. Does that mean taking away the water's liquid itself would leave oxygen in its place when she takes away
Photosynthesis.
15
It's
square
definitely not photosynthesis. What am I
cubic
thinking
feet
of?
of water?
Osmosis.
That's the one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, instead of dealing with that, let's deal with what Zygon's doing. So, Anzu and Thea, you guys are running out of air as Animus and Cirrus are descending down into the water to come for you. Zygon, you quickly get to this abandoned ruin. It's kind of an oxymoron. And you see that this is an old pump room. You see a large lever.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Wait, you tell me if I went here first, I could have just probably drained all this water.
Yep.
Yes, I am.
I'd also like to point something out really quickly. I did say we were not leaving Zygon until we all went down together.
Well, Zygon also wanted to go explore this building.
That's fine.
Flavor.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So, Zygon, you pull the lever. And,
Of course, I'm not going to not pull a lever.
Yeah, the four of you in the water hear as the two giant floodgates open. Zygon, you're going to have to hurry because there's a lot of water coming your way.
Can I check out the rest of the room?
Make an investigation check.
Man's speed running right now.
Dirty
Gotta
20.
clip through the wall.
Yep.
Is there
You
anything
jump at this
particular you're
bogey.
looking for?
I don't know, gold or any more notes. I don't know.
Money or coolness? As you begin looking around, you notice like a schedule on the wall, and it appears that the way this prison worked is it would be submerged when no one was coming in, and then it was magically sealed to where the water wouldn't get in.
Okay.
And then when they had new prisoners coming or they did prisoner transfers, they would release all the water.
Sort of
Do the transfer.
sub-aquarian basement or prison?
Yes. It is a prison that goes underwater. So as you guys are going down, eventually the water level goes away, and you guys are at the base of what is left of this building. Anzu and Thea, you guys breathe a sigh of relief as oxygen returns to your lungs.
Oh, that was a close one.
And then I'll teleport.
That
Okay.
we think.
So, Zygon, as you're frantically looking through this room, kind of looking at the schedule, you hear the rushing water coming closer and closer to you. You
Fuck.
concentrate, and as the wave crests over this ruined building, you teleport next to Thea and Anzu.
Jacob, as a
Oof.
point of order, I'd like to also say that while we were reading those, I was copying them down in my journal.
Works for me.
Okay.
All right, so now all 5 of you, 2 of you are outside the building, 3 of you are inside. How are the 2 outside going to get inside?
I start knocking on the obsidian.
You guys can hear knocking coming from the stone behind you.
If only I had diamonds.
Dang it.
I start talking in
It's been
Abyssal
20
again.
seconds.
We have come to take you. It
There you
is
go.
finally come. Your times are coming to
Zygon,
an end.
these guys just won't leave you alone.
Yes, we are here.
Sirius, you do notice that the wall here is old stone, and with enough force, you could probably break through it.
Like
Instead of
pushing
helping
on
them,
it,
I'm
or
just gonna
like,
lay down and accept my fate.
or like, do I have to like kick it or punch it or?
That's up to you.
Yeah, let's just like push on it.
Make a strength check.
Good. Nope, that won't do it. 16.
You push on it, and you feel some of the stone giving way, but your hands slip because it's covered in like algae and stuff.
Yeah.
And you almost hit your face, but you catch yourself right before you do.
I would like to take 15 steps backwards.
Okay.
Animus, I would move.
I
And
move.
just dead sprint, jump, shoulder check. Yeah.
Trying to Kool-Aid man this thing.
I cast
Exactly.
guidance on him right before he starts the run.
Make a strength check.
All right.
Add a d4.
We'll say with advantage because of the force that you're exerting.
Add a d4.
Did not matter. 19.
19. So the 3 of you standing on top of the obsidian slab, you hear as a bunch of rock tumbles, and Cirrus lands on the obsidian slab, taking 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
But then you see Animus gently saunter in.
My small bird form. What's the Kool-Aid man saying? Where they're like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
oh no, oh yeah.
they're like, 2 of them are like, Zygon starts repeat, like, I'm like, we've come to get you. Zygon's like, oh no, and then Sirius is, oh yeah, breaks through.
Oh yeah. You guys are all together now. What are you doing?
We're gonna go through the thing.
Diananzu, we have something to talk to you about.
Are you gonna show them the documents?
I will show them the documents.
All
What
right.
is
So
it?
now
Are you trying to sue me?
Yes, this is a lawsuit. I'm taking the guild. Wait, you don't have ownership of the guild right now.
Just know that you have the right to a lawyer. Everything and anything you say or do will be held against you in the court of law.
100% will be used against you. Yes. All right.
But Thea and Anzu, you guys now have all this information and can react accordingly.
Before anybody says anything, we need to go over a couple things before we get into this building. We have found...
We're already in the building.
Well, before we get into more of the building. We have found... Zygon has found, and Sirius has found, I actually didn't do much, other than read and remember.
Nerd. Reading. Nerd.
Druid.
Yeah, he sat there and just like copied everything down in his notebook. It took forever.
This is evidence that shows a lot of what these three, the 3 and possibly Marqueus did when they came to this realm after moving over from their own universe. Now, it specifically brings up Velshinar and the Cobalt Conservatory. Anzu, this ties you into it. So if you can remember anybody who Velshinar may have been in contact with around the time when you and Velshinar had your duel, and Linares unfortunately gave her life to save yours, and Velshinar disappeared, that is one thing. Secondary thing, Thea, this also ties you into it, knowing that your mom was originally part of this group of the 5 in Shavira around this time. I don't know how long ago it was, Jacob, between this zenith and the last zenith, but I'm just gonna name that time to
roughly like 45 years, roughly.
Thea, your mom being part of the 5, this dates about 45, 50-ish years ago to when Shavira started talking to these 3 and doing research on basically how to create world souls to take arcane magic from our world over to the others. So if either of you have... No one's also... We did have a brief discussion on if either of you were involved, but we quickly got rid of that because that doesn't make any sense for either of you to be involved. But we had to kind of have that conversation.
45 years?
45 to 50-ish years, yes.
Roughly, yeah.
Is that right, Jacob?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Because she died 54 years ago.
Yes. I'm just, timeline-wise, Shavira started working with these people about 45 to 50-ish years ago. I mean, when they originally came in, so the Zenith happened in 83. And they originally came in...
Back in 83!
The Zenith came in, according to their time, 5 years after they came to this world, which puts it at about 50 or so years when they came to this world. Meaning roughly, your mom possibly had just left the 5. And that is around the time when Shavira then also joined in on being one of the main people to help these 3 plus Marqueus in their research. And what ended up leading Velshinar to going to the Shadowfell, Velshinar then becoming this slaver who used my race and many other races as a testing ground, possibly not even getting any energy or power from the Shadowfell, just in what we can conceive, using all of these slaves whose morality has been dropped to a lesser form and not being able to fight back because they're mining stone for 14 to 20 hours a day with very
and they're
little
literally
rest.
Cursed, and like they're literally cursed,
right? And it all just kind of adds together very well here on what may have happened, and also how Velshinar started turning to the other side, how Shavira started also turning to the other side, and it's just kind of now in your both hands to see if there's anywhere you can fill in spaces. Thea, I know this might be a little harder for you. You're a little bit younger, and your mom may have not talked about the 5 as much as we've already known, but Anzu could have some information about who he knew or who Velshinar was talking to around that time. And Linares could have some information. We may need to also ask her if she knows if Velshinar was talking to anyone if Anzu doesn't know.
Sorry, I have a early onset. Could you say that over again?
Okay, so what happened...
Gosh dang it.
I
read it for yourself.
I
man,
wanted to go over all of that, mostly for viewership, understanding. I understand I monologued a lot this episode, and I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know. Does D&D have, like, do you know the memory thing in Harry Potter?
Oh, the
that lets you relive your memories?
The pensive.
Yeah. Yeah, is that a thing in D&D?
Surely
not.
There's gotta be some kind
Start
of
crying, and then I'll hold up a stick to your eyeball, and we'll see if that works.
There's not necessarily anything that would work directly like that. Man, it'd be really hard to figure that out.
There's nothing.
Not to
Like
my
you-
knowledge, but I will look into it before next session.
I mean, do I recall anyone in the fight other than Linares and Bell?
No, I mean this is a very traumatic memory, so it's kind of etched into your brain. No, you don't really recall anyone else being there. So if someone was there, they were hiding pretty well. And also, you've got to remember you were fighting a friend, and there was a lot going on, and it was very powerful wizard magic, and there was it would be hard for you to notice someone randomly being there.
But Anzu, do
Because
you?
they say it like they were invisible in the middle of the fight, but like
They were hiding.
From
'cause
what you
Linares'
can
Bell,
assume,
it was just
yeah.
like,
Was
He's
the
actually there. He
crater.
was on Anzu's side. He was there every step of the way. Anzu's just taking credit. Doesn't want to give him.
Yeah, he was. So he would have had to be somewhere near the duel. Yes.
Is there anyone Velshinar was in contact with near the end of his time with the Cobalt Conservatory? I think that's maybe don't focus too much on the fight. Focus more on what happened with Velshinar and his turning stages of wanting power.
Jacob, was there
make-
anyone I was seeing around Vel?
Make a history check.
Notes that could have come in, other people who may have delivered the message, stuff like that.
28.
Velshinar would often talk about how he was trying to recruit new people to come to the college. But you don't remember anyone being there directly. Also, you can kind of surmise from the passages that you guys have read that this was a very secret and kind of covert operation anyway. So it's not likely that Velshinar would share that with anyone, including his friends.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason the school was fighting him was because he was basically like sentencing students to death. So
Right. Well, and wait, Jacob was one of those things that he was actually sending them to the shadow?
You might be able to make that jump. There's no clear evidence of that.
Okay.
Well, as the party thinks and ruminates on everything that they've learned this evening, and they get ready to descend into a former prison, that will be where we end tonight's session.
Holy shit.
This has been a good one. I love a good lore. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We know this one was a little weird, but we hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you hopefully next week. Have a good night. Have a good week. See you guys later.